What's good, my G's? It's your boy Snow. Ignorant Gamers in the house. How you doing? How you living? How you gaming? Of course, you already know G stands for Gamers. And I got,
My name is Ramon.
and we in here.
Yes, sir.
It's been a minute.
Been a while.
Happy 2020, I guess.
2020.
Yeah.
New decade.
New decade. New swindles.
On the verge of new disappointments.
You know it. And basically, this episode is going to probably clear some air up. If you're seeing this on the channel, if you're hearing us somewhere else, it's going to clean up what the channel is, the YouTube channel, a little bit. You're not going to get all of it. But pretty much this episode, we're just going to talk about the previous decade.
Yeah.
And just wrap our thoughts up in a bow, tie it off. I felt like it was worthy of coming back, getting us back into swing of things. And it is a conversation that should be had because what we do in this art form, because people don't want to consider it an art form, this entertainment art form, you know, it's nice to reflect back because then you can set the tape about what's about to happen.
Right.
One of the things that's about to happen is the next gen consoles. You know, we're gonna kick off with one pretty soon, depending if the coronavirus lets us have it.
Yeah,
or not.
we had some concerns with the previous gen consoles, how long they would last.
Yes.
How long did they last?
Well, considering that it's not out yet, right?
Right.
They did the numbers that I said.
Right.
They did the numbers. So
Okay.
7 to 8.
Yeah.
We're at 2013. This is the 7th year. If it comes out,
So they I mean, you know, the mid console refresh bullshit
yeah,
to the side, but
right. I mean,
Okay.
because you didn't buy a refresh console.
I did not, and I was fine.
And I didn't buy a refresh console, and
Yeah.
I was fine. You
Yeah,
know
we
what I
all
mean?
got OGs.
We all got the OGs.
Yeah.
So that's fine in itself. So I don't know. Probably should just talk about where LD and IGZ's been at.
Okay.
All right. So first off, across the board, we both took a hiatus. A little different of a hiatus, but same hiatus.
Yeah.
One, Riz got married. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Long
Thank
time
you.
coming. Very
Thank
happy.
you.
I was at
Thank
the
you.
wedding, looking
Yeah.
good myself, but he was looking excellent. You know what I mean? So congratulations there.
Thank you, sir.
Explain that a little bit. Like,
No, it was a long time coming, man.
mm-hmm.
And I think the wedding, even though I think my wife did most of the planning, it was still like enough to pull me away from everything.
Right.
And there was a lot going on because there was like the photography stuff, there was the YouTube stuff that was still kind of in the balance.
Right.
And there was the brand stuff, and it was just like, man, I ain't got time for this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I also started a new job, so it was like,
Congratulations on that.
thank you. It was like, man, I ain't got.
And it was dramatic coming down to the end of the other job.
Yeah, like YouTube is gonna have to like take this break. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Something had to bend somewhere.
Yeah, and I think what was scary at the time was the break. I didn't know if it was a permanent or temporary break.
None of us
but
did.
It had to be.
It had to happen.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of things that we was up against. And for those who are subscribers to us on the YouTube channel, you know, a lot of times I speak IGZ, but I also mention LD because it's one and the same.
Yeah, it really is.
And you know, we were already having fights with algorithms and subscriptions, Google taking over YouTube, causing problems for us. And
it was a lot.
there was a lot of things going on, messing with our numbers. We
Yeah.
did experimental stuff. LD, we separated stuff out of there
Yeah,
to see what would
yeah.
happen. We took photography out, got its own channel. We
That
took
was the
sneakers out,
last,
got its own channel.
That was the last foray, really.
Yeah.
Because the year before I took the break, I spent so much time segregating this channel.
Right.
And the interesting part is photography was the photography channel on its own. So they call it niching down in the industry.
Right.
Like when you niche down, like, I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
And we were getting hit with this, like, there were a bunch of comments like, fam, I came here for phones, not
Right.
music reviews or,
Right.
you know, I get it, but like at the end of the day, like we always wanted to be a lifestyle brand.
Right. It was whatever we were into.
Whatever we were into, and
Yeah.
we started it that way, but then the algorithms didn't fuck with us, and then people would, I don't know, I guess people would, when you put a video in front of your subscribers and a bunch of them don't engage, it's count negatively.
Right.
And to me, it's like Nah, we do sneakers, we do jewelry, we do tech.
Right.
Like, if you ain't into sneakers, fam, don't watch this video. There's another one coming for you.
You can see we don't do bait titles.
Yeah.
It's not like, yo, this Fuji camera's off the chain, and then when you get there, yo, these Jordan 1s, fam. Like,
right.
That's not what we're doing.
Right. So it was super tough to traverse. We was getting penalized for so many different things.
And then we figured that out.
You figured it out.
We went with it. But then on IGZ side, the gaming side,
that was just another anomaly.
They hit us with another anomaly.
I still don't understand.
I don't understand it either, too, because at the end of the day, we're doing gaming. Did they hit us with, like, okay, well, yeah, you guys do gaming. Is it tutorials? Is it reviews? What are you guys doing? It's like, no, fam, we do gaming. Like, how are you penalizing us for gaming? We didn't have photography on the gaming channel. We didn't have cars on the gaming channel.
And that turned the whole thing upside down. Like, yeah, I see that, but still, how do you explain the gaming shit now? Because there's no
right.
What are you going to tell me? Oh, you're supposed to be an Xbox only channel or a PlayStation only channel? Like, nah, that everybody else is eating.
Why not us? You know, and that was part of the frustration. And by the way, one of the biggest frustrations, happiness, but frustrations for the IGZ side was, all right, we separate the photography thing.
Right.
Son, overnight, it caught IGZ.
Yeah.
And had we not had the break, it would have demolished IGZ in terms of subscriber base.
That channel's still growing today, and I don't know.
Fam.
I don't know.
Fam. Ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So we went through all that. You know, Ramon was holding down the LD side. I'm doing back end stuff for LD wherever possible. I'm holding down IGZ side. He's doing back end stuff wherever possible. And then Ramon's hiatus came down to basically just, life.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to me, but mine was a little different. So, in September 2018, my mom had her third stroke. And that was the Friday of my vacation, which was supposed to be 2 weeks or something like that.
Was it Friday?
It was a Friday because me and you.
Yeah, I had just bought the camera. We was going to get something to eat.
Right. And I got that message as I was coming.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fam, I know, I feel in my heart this is about to be a long run, so we going to eat. Yeah. He was like, yo, RZA was like, yo, you want to go to that? I'm like, nah, fam, I could tell this is going to be something. I didn't know it was going to be almost 2 years, but I felt it in my heart, like, yo, this is about to be a fight.
That 2 years felt like 2 weeks.
Son, fam, like, it was ridiculous. And I just got my mom home January of 2020. And although it's a load of stress off my mind, again, 2018 to 2020.
That time flew by like
time flew by, and it was hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I strained some relationships, and something had to go. You know, a couple things had to go. And, even though I got mom's home, the fight's not over. But I see a clearer sky. It's a new stress added on, but I'm past that dark patch.
Yeah.
And now we're dealing with whatever it is there. So that was the hiatus for me. On top of me just being pissed off with YouTube in general.
Yeah, that never really went away.
That never went away.
But I think... I consider us a lot older than most of the people that does this. And then we also...
Shout out to Sincere B.
We also we're both in professional worlds.
Right.
Corporate America, professional settings. There are things that we learned in our career that afforded us the right to see it coming. Right. And you have to pull back.
Right, that's true.
You have to pull... burnout is burnout. But... the way you manage burnout is you see it. You need to recognize when it's coming.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out how to pause. Because if we didn't take this break, we probably wouldn't be doing this video. You know what I mean? Like,
this is true.
When you burn out and you just walk away for good.
Right. And with that said, with this video, we probably wouldn't have did the LD podcast, which is now a thing.
Quite enjoying the podcast.
The podcast is really, really good, and that might be what we do for this channel moving forward. Is just the IGZ channel, just straight podcasting it.
Yeah.
We'll figure out that details later, but just know that if we go straight audio, you will have you will still have content on this channel. It will be in the podcast format, but if you don't want to do that, we will have the links. So you can get your favorite What podcast do you use?
Pocket Cast.
You use Pocket Cast.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm using the Google Podcast thing. It's cool. I told you about that little delay that's happening.
Yeah. 24 hours.
It's like 24 hours, and then I think when I looked into it, I think the Google Play Store, Google Music one is coming in on time. I think it's just the podcast one that's taking. I got to see it when we do the next episode.
That's traditionally Google's problems. They got too much overlapping fucking.
It's a
like
one
or the other.
Yeah, just fix it, man. And then of course we will have the Spotify link, I believe, and then or wherever else we can get it. But don't worry, the content will return in some shape or form as we still figure out the overall plan for IGZ in general.
Yeah.
Because we have the bug. I know you guys seen the Medal, not the Medal of Honor. Shout out to the Medal of Honor, the Call of Duty video, which was a very good video. 2 videos, by the way.
Thank you.
And then you did a Forza video as well.
I did.
I think you did. I feel like you did.
Maybe. I don't fuck I be doing, son.
And that's the other part, right?
That's the enjoyable part.
That's the enjoyable part, right? So we got to get back to. I specifically have to get back to just playing video games.
Yeah.
And like enjoying it, like how I enjoy movies, and then let the recording happen when it happens.
Yeah.
So.
I think you're right. I do remember the Forza video. I was just having fun. Like, fuck it. Let me just run my mouth on this.
With no expectations. Just do what you do. So, all right. I want to get into the decade that we just had. And by the way, subscribe to LD, That's the Lifestyle podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. Or just go to the channel. Go to the LD YouTube channel. You'll see it there. And I suggest Auto Blow and Off-White Nikes. I suggest you watch that one or listen to that one. That one's hilarious. So
it's funny, B.
All right. We're going to talk about the decade.
Okay.
We're not going to get too crazy with it. The stuff on the itinerary just to give the ideas, right? Mm-hmm. But what would be considered a low light? Let's start low because we're going to go...
Disappointments?
Yeah.
In gaming in general?
Yeah, anything in the gaming space.
I'm very disappointed with the launch of the Xbox One. I was very disappointed. I mean, that was a hot topic back then.
Yeah.
And I'm still... I've since wavered on how the message was received.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't buy into it.
Right.
Because coming out of the 360 and P3 days, entertainment was a large part of our consoles.
You can't avoid it. It still is.
And I don't have numbers to back this up, but I'm willing to bet if Netflix came out and said our first 5 years, we threw that plan down to transition from a blockbuster competitor to straight up online. Well, I guess from the conception of Netflix, they were
out the gate.
They had that roadmap,
right?
But like, I feel like consoles were a huge part of Netflix success. Mm-hmm. What else was playing Netflix?
Yeah,
it was a very far and few. It was a very niche thing.
Roku player was the only other thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, am I bugging here?
I guess we could say the Wii and the Wii and the Xbox 360 were the primary players for Netflix.
So I don't get how someone comes out and says, "Oh, we see a large part of this is a lot of what people do on our consoles because this is Microsoft."
Right.
And Microsoft knows if they know anything, it's how to track.
They track
what the fuck
everything.
Goes on in their product. They got the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they come out and say, "Yo, you motherfuckers like TV, TV."
Absolutely.
And the world just they just got sank for that. Like,
yeah.
Fam, they literally said in the shit, like, for right now, we're going to talk about this TV shit because when it comes time to talk about the games,
right,
we want to give you that pure E3 experience.
And that was a gamble. I felt like that was the wrong gamble to take, but I understood it.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed how it was received.
Yeah, same here.
And then,
but in that case, I'm more disappointed with the change of media around games as well.
But that's the other part that really like drove. This is kind of like what drove me out of like the mood for gaming and talking about
same
gaming.
Here, especially on YouTube.
Like everything else around us, gamers are. Oh, you ain't got no CD-ROM drive. Like, no, fam. Does your phone have a fucking CD-ROM drive? Does your iPad have a CD-ROM drive?
Your laptop has gotten rid of it.
You know what I mean?
Part. Don't look at my laptop.
When's the last time you went to fucking Best Buy and bought a piece
CD
of software?
Yeah.
Like I don't get how this is such a big problem.
Right.
And then even with the online shit, they took a pummel for that. Microsoft said online always.
Right.
And it's got to check in. And then somebody said something about a submarine.
Yeah.
And today, can you tell me a PlayStation game that doesn't? And I'm not dragging PlayStation.
Right.
It's like PlayStation was the clear victor because of this.
Right.
We're not doing that. Everybody clapped.
What was it?
But then today,
Here's how you share a game on the
here's how you
PlayStation.
share a game.
Right.
But tell me a game on your PlayStation that works without the internet connection.
Right.
And I'm talking single player games.
Yeah. Especially if you bought it digitally.
I don't get it. And I still feel like, Microsoft took a huge L for that.
Right.
And I'm not saying because Sony still had the knockout punch.
Right.
It was the more powerful console, and it was a cheaper console.
Right.
That in itself would have did it.
Right.
I'm still gonna say Sony was gonna win this generation no matter what.
I don't think there was no doubt about that.
You had the cheaper console and you had the better product.
Right.
So you're gonna win.
Yeah.
But all that other shit that Microsoft just took, I was just like, you just hindered the entire progression
Right.
of our technology in a space that we all share and love.
Absolutely.
You feel like I'm using a MacBook Pro, whatever the fuck this is called here, running Windows on it. Don't watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
You know what I mean? And you think this thing could have gotten this thin,
Right.
this light with a CD-ROM drive in it?
Nah.
Like, let that shit go.
Right.
This is coming from the company Apple goes, you know what? None of y'all get headphone jacks anymore.
Right.
And that's called bravery or whatever the fuck they call it.
Yeah.
Fam.
It's annoying.
What happened? So my favorite brand does it and it's a problem? Like, it was a lot. I was just like, I don't want to deal with this shit. Because every time you step in a conversation, you got to start from ground zero.
Which no one wants to do.
No one wants to do that. Everyone just heard from their best friend at work's son, the PlayStation's better.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, why?
Right.
And then even before Sony started clicking, they still had nothing.
Right.
You had nothing but a price.
Right.
I mean, since Sony poured it on.
Right.
2.5 years into that console, it was not slowing down. Here came the games.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The games was almost guaranteed.
Here come the games.
Because that's the mind share of PlayStation.
So I was just, and it really got nothing to do with Sony. It was just like how the message, and you said this, like Microsoft has problems. Shit, I've said this.
Yeah.
Microsoft had
We
problems.
both said it, yeah.
Communicating.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
They have
like,
so much like pipes. Like there's so many things that they got going on. And
yeah.
just them messaging those things is just like they're bad at it. I mean, they've gotten better since they gotten slapped with this. I feel
Phil
like the
Spencer's
Xbox,
like the
Xbox division got slapped, and the entire company of Microsoft was like, "Yeah, fam, we got to do better," because it showed with the Surface.
Now
it shows with these updates. It shows with
they got serious about Xbox.
They have to, yeah.
And Microsoft's. I mean, a lot of people in the gaming space don't understand these conversations because, again, I'm an IT professional.
Yes.
So I'm looking at Microsoft from all angles. I see it, and Microsoft's. I guess since Satya Nadella, the goal was services.
Yeah.
It's not about Microsoft Word on a Windows PC anymore.
Right.
It's not about your email and Outlook anymore.
Right.
It's about, we provide a service to a customer wherever that customer is.
Yes, right.
So you get shit like super dope Office products on iOS.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You get shit like the new Android phone coming. It's Microsoft made, but it's running Android.
Absolutely.
They gave up Windows Phone.
Right.
And part of this...
Which is not for this conversation.
Not for this conversation.
But terrible that Windows Phone died.
It is, whatever. You know what I mean? Now you got shit like Phil Spencer's like, we're detaching gaming from the Xbox brand.
Right.
Xbox brand is Xbox, but you don't have to game there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Here comes the PCs. You buy that game once, it works. People are like, fam, you just literally killed your Xbox product.
Right.
I mean, I agree with that to some point, but that's the direction of this company now.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not about the box that I'm selling you. It's about if you feel like gaming, I'm going to meet you wherever you
can.
If you want to buy my box, then cool.
That's XCloud too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a tough. There's a lot that has to be. There's about a lot of layers that you got to peel back to get into that world.
Yeah.
And once they started chasing services, Xbox Live was pulling in $2 billion in profit a year.
Yeah.
Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And not a huge chunk of that was coming from PC, but there's some revenue on a PC.
Of course.
And they got serious about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Windows is going out of the fold.
Right.
Windows as a traditional Windows, how we know it, is starting to get phased out.
Right.
And Microsoft traditionally has made all their money from Windows. Now they're in a place where they're like, where else can we get it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, we pulling $2 billion over here,
Right.
fam. Straighten up that.
Yeah, which is
straighten up that right now.
Which is what's happening with Sony as a company.
I felt like Sony was always banging though.
Yeah, but then
The PlayStation was always holding them up.
No, the PlayStation held them up for the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What happened was, in this decade, the music was swinging low.
Yeah,
it had to mature.
Right. The
electronics wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing. This is TVs.
Yeah.
Everybody's eating their lunch. Samsung came up in that last, well, not really from 10 to 9, but more so from 5 to 15. Samsung was swinging up. When we had the LCD wars, the LCD, the plasma wars and all that, so Samsung was one of the forefront players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember
that. I didn't know so many people with a flat, like a real flat, thin Sony. They still had those Vegas and whatever the other thing was.
And they were still visually superior.
Yes, right? So, you know, Sony has so many different avenues, and then at one point it was, this PlayStation is doing very well and it's consuming a lot of media. So, you know, we need to buckle up. This is why that music Sony bought out, what is it, Q Music or whatever that was, something. They bought out something, and then they tried to integrate it into PlayStation.
I missed that one.
Then later that got booted and it became Spotify.
Oh.
And all that. And then,
I didn't know that.
Right. So then the View thing as well, which is now defunct, and a bunch of other things. So it's like, where does it lead to? Where does it end? And the idea was like, how can we drag more money out of PlayStation? So, I felt like a lot of companies was looking at this avenue. It was just like, well, Sony's doing it, Microsoft's doing it. Nintendo only does gaming, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's very pivotal.
Yeah, that conversation is so fucking deep.
Right. So
I just shake my head when I think about it. Like.
So for me, one of the things that stand out is the broken games, aka broken games and unfinished games. Around actually 2010, Medal of Honor 2010.
Yeah.
Battlefield, Bad Company 2, MAG, and there's another game in the year 2010 where you started to see varying quality control issues. I feel like Bad Company 2 was fine, right? Yeah. I feel like MAG...
Particularly from bigger studios.
I feel like MAG was fine. Mm-hmm. I may not really agree with how the game released, but the game released working.
Right.
Medal of Honor came out. There was some issues there.
2010 or
2010. Warfighter had broken issues.
Yeah, Warfighter was fucked.
Right. And that was 2 years later. So
what issues did 2010 have? I can't remember.
2010 had the dreaded server issues at the beginning, right? Which was, I keep telling you, that's what I used to tell you. Son, I don't care if you have a 360 and you pay for Xbox Live. You guys have the same broken servers that I have.
Right.
All across all EA games. And mine is free, right?
Yeah.
So what the other part was the quality control. Danger Close did the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
DICE did the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So when there were things that people found out how to mess up in the multiplayer, it broke the game. It broke both games. Mm-hmm. So we got the most out of it. And before DICE could go finish doing a Battlefield 3 promotion, Danger Close had to go fix it. And because of that, they were only able to fix certain things, but Tier 1 mode was never fixed.
Right.
And we never got any, outside of Clean Sweep, we never got no support for the game.
Clean Sweep was that
one and done.
Yeah. That was
fun.
That was delicious.
Yeah.
That was a time when we was missing Rainbow Six.
Absolutely. So then Medal of Honor Warfighter.
Yeah.
Bro, as broken as that game was so good, but
still broken.
I
think Battlefield 4 takes the cake.
Battlefield 4, Broken Field 4.
And Halo. Battlefield 4 and Halo takes
Halo
the
who?
cake.
Halo 5?
No.
Master Chief Collection.
The collection.
Absolutely. Which just finally...
got fixed 3 or 4 months ago.
3-4 months ago, right. Yeah. And it's like, okay.
So much so that they re-reviewed it and gave it like a 9 or some shit like
right.
that. It was like, holy fuck.
Right. Then you got Homefront, The Revolution. Game still broken. Then you got the infamous World Z or DayZ. Mm-hmm. Just a bunch of broken or unfinished games were hitting the mark. Steam got ridiculed for it at one point because it was Steam at one point was like, yeah, early development, just that and the third, da-da-da. Yep. And then it became a habitual thing, and people were releasing games. And some people had their games pulled because they were so broken and unfinished.
Yep, PUBG.
PUBG, right? And I felt like this became the strategy. Yo, get the game out now.
Just get it out, yeah.
And then we'll fix it later.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Because remember what I said before, this is the whole stop pre-ordering games.
Yeah.
Because pre-ordering these games is allowing them to do this.
Okay, yeah.
Because if
the game's not finished.
The game's not finished. And I know we don't like GameStop. I know we don't like GameStop, right? But
when I hear don't like, I think about Capcom as well.
we don't like GameStop. But then when digital comes to play, there's no way to return a digital game once you download it. It's
recently there is though.
No, you gotta fight it.
Yeah.
How many people gonna take that fight? Let's be real. You know what I mean? So
yeah, broken games is, I think, it's a reality, and I think it's a byproduct of greed. It's a money grab. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because if you are looking at it from a business stance, if you can release a product that's 80% finished, and I'm being generous here because some of these shits are like 70 or 60,
like
you
65.
could argue. You could release it. You can that initial money grab that you get from either pre-orders or actually releasing the game. Mm-hmm. You could then go back and you got more money to spend more resources on. Yeah. To come back and get it right. Mm-hmm. Now I've seen very few games actually come back and get it right after.
It's true.
I think Battlefield 4 was fine after like 3 years. 2 consoles in 3 years.
I would say about 2.5, 3 years.
Like you go back and play Battlefield 4 now, like it's solid. But like that was a long, hard fucking you looking at Jack Frost and Level Cap. Mm-hmm. Jack Frags mm-hmm. made careers on YouTube off how broken Battlefield was. And what the new patch is and what it broke. Right. What it fixed and what it broke. Right. You look at Microsoft with the Halo collection. Right. Like just couldn't get it together. Right. Like fam, what? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there isn't too many instances of these games. I guess Halo collection is okay now, but like I don't know of any other studio that's like No Man's Sky came out was just fucked.
Well, No Man's Sky
had to come back and be a whole completely different game.
And today is awesome.
So they say.
With the VR.
So they say.
Yeah.
So I don't. It's such a wild conversation, and there are multiple different points to how we arrived to that broken game scenario. Right. You know what I mean? Right. It's just.
I think there was I think Double Dragon 2 also came out like broken as well.
Any Street Fighter was broken.
Yeah. Well, Street Fighter was outside of broken, just unfinished. How they released that without the mode.
And I think the unbalancing stuff in Street Fighter can still qualify as being broken. Like, fam, this is what you do. Right. Balance it. Right. The way the fighting mechanics worked. Yeah. But like, fix your game. Yeah. Fix your fucking game. So, I could see the broken games being a pretty big disappointment for 2010.
And then I would say, and both the broken game and unfinished game thing is going to be on both sides of this coin for me. Yep. Same thing for this next thing, which is loot boxes, DLC, and microtransactions.
I didn't mind it.
So, in the beginning of it, mm-hmm. games like World War Z, mm-hmm. War Inc., other little free-to-play joints, like, that was their method, right? Yo, we're not going to charge you, but, like, if you're trying to rent this gun for today's session, you know, you got to cough up this amount of money. Interesting. Or you got to play this long. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think some games had it where you could just permanently buy that gun, and then it was like, imagine playing Battlefield 3, right? And you can spend an extra $20 to get...
That's pay to win.
That's pay to win. So that's where that came into play. Yeah. The microtransactions, which has always been a problem. The problem with microtransactions in this last decade is it crept its way into other games. And it really was a mobile problem.
I think it became pay to win.
Right. And then its original problem has actually always been in FIFA. And that's the thing that nobody understands. Like, it's been in FIFA.
What was that number EA made from FIFA? It was in the billions in microtransactions last year.
I forget what it was.
It was like 1.6 billion or some shit like that.
But even
from just FIFA.
But even Halo 5 microtransactions.
Yeah, Microsoft been making a killing there.
Son, that money was ridiculous when they reported that number. So it's like they not worried about the unit sold because and that's the positive of that, right? Because if you're in Halo, son, I saw the microtransactions there, and I remember people was mad about it. I was like, fam, you don't get it. You don't play the Warzone mode.
Yeah.
The most people who's buying that will never get a chance to use the stuff that's in that tier.
Yeah.
That's like me. I don't think I've ever had a nuke.
In Call of Duty?
In Call of Duty. I don't think I've ever had a nuke. I've gotten close, but that's not my style of play.
It's not satisfying.
The satisfying point is I killed 25 people and no one shot me. Like, that's the satisfying feeling.
Yeah.
But like, I still want to.
AC-130 is so much more menacing.
Fam, I've had that a few times. Like, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you sleep good at night after you get an AC-130.
The thing about the nuke is game blouses.
Yeah. You like, kind of like, you just roll up, grab the ball. Yo, nobody else is playing here tonight.
You know what I mean?
Fuck off the court.
I think the satisfying one is a cruiser missile, which I never got.
Yeah,
from Medal of Honor.
The boomstick. Oh, you never got the cruiser missile?
The last one?
That shit was like a mix of a nuke and an AC-130.
But the game kept going.
The game kept going, but everybody got wiped the fuck out.
The way it looked like. You ever see like Grout?
Yeah.
And then someone just takes a high power washer and just Grout just goes everywhere and the water comes. That's what what that was. When you're looking at it in the distance, you're just like, damn.
And if you holding back and you see
everybody's blacked out.
The whole team go blacked out. Everybody dead.
So that's another thing. The other thing was online passes. That pissed me off too.
Online passes. Is there a good example?
All right, so
I feel like in both microtransactions, loot boxes, there are online passes. There are good versions of it.
Yeah,
and then there are things where like people like Activision just take it too far.
I cannot tell you a good case
for the online pass.
No, I cannot.
So give me an online pass.
I bought Battlefield 4 or Battlefield Bad Company 2. Well, no, Battlefield 3, right? I gave you the disc. Yo, try this before you buy it. You can't get online. Because I bought the game, I had to put the code in, so that way the game knew that I purchased it.
Is that an online pass?
That's an online pass.
Yeah, okay, got you.
So now I give it to you, you can't get online unless you pay $10 for the online pass.
This goes back to my conversation, my disappointment.
Right.
Motherfuckers holding on to these discs.
Right.
Why does it matter, fam?
But
this disc is now useless.
But remember, at 2010 though,
you ain't sharing this with nobody.
For the first 5 years though, we were still installing nothing.
Right.
Certain games hadn't, like your Halo 3 or was it Halo 3? Yeah, actually Halo 3 and Halo 4 had to install.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because the maps were so big and you could,
right. There was only certain games that was installing stuff. The closer we got to 2013, is the more closer it started.
I forgot
installing.
About the online pass. You get what I'm saying? Crazy.
Yeah, and I think it saw its height at 2010. You know what I mean? Because that's also around the time where Medal of Honor came out and this, that, and the third. It started before that, but I felt like from 2010 to like 2012, maybe 2013, maybe 2012, because then they sent it out to everybody. It was like, oh, free. The online passes are now free. And I feel like EA was the first ones that came to that. Because a lot of their games had that on it.
So I think, and I made a video a while back, a few years back about microtransactions.
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page. It's not all bad. I remember like Bad Company and Bad Company 2 had shortcuts. So after the game was out,
for an exorbitant amount of time.
We're talking like a year and a half. Community's still rocking because the next one wasn't delivered yet. This back when motherfuckers took their time. You could, as a new person, you can go in GameStop or wherever and get the game. Come home. You can't. There's no way.
And Battlefield,
all you got is a fucking M16. A motherfucker's got laser scopes out
and no paddles.
Right.
No paddles. No big bag of health or ammo.
You can't do fuck all.
It's hard. It's tough.
So for $16, you can unlock the entire fucking medic class.
Right.
The entire sniper class.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I thought, yo, this is dope. I don't have a beef with this.
Right.
Then you look at like,
or you just bought a all around starter pass.
Or you bought a starter pass. Yeah, because that
starter
was
kit, rather, yeah.
that was about the same price of the game you buy used. So you end up spending $50, but you got everything.
You got everything, right?
Which ain't no big deal because at that point the community had already unlocked everything anyway.
Right. And you still got to go through the ranks.
Yeah.
To get the other gun. So it's like if you got the, let's just say M16, right? You're not going to get the next gun because you already start with the M16. Your rank still have to catch up to what the M16 was supposed to have been unlocked.
Yeah.
Then from there you go to the next weapon.
That was totally fine to me.
I agree.
Overwatch. Skins.
Awesome.
I don't care if they sell everything on Overwatch. The fact that it does not affect gameplay, do your thing, fam.
Do your thing.
Fortnite, same deal.
Same situation.
You know what I mean?
PUBG
like
as well, a little later, yeah.
Yeah, but PUBG just never worked. Fuck that game. But I think there are examples where it can be done tastefully. Mm-hmm. It can be tastefully executed.
Right. And
then there's the Star Wars kerfuffle that happened, and
like
this shit just went off the rails.
Should never happened.
Yeah. So, microtransactions was a big conversation.
And the thing that made the microtransactions on the Star Wars thing so much more, which is fixed by the way, right? Mm-hmm. And this is Battlefront 2.
That's in the Game Pass now. We should probably think about rocking that.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah. The thing that was like the call out was like, yo, fam, we just got to a mature place for microtransactions, and you go ahead and do that.
Right.
What is your problem?
Yeah.
Like,
they deserved every bit of smoke that they got.
Absolutely.
That was some fuck shit.
You didn't buy. So the game was fine. We did not buy it.
But you know also who I blame is the gamers, because no matter what, NBA 2K was rocking.
Son.
NBA 2K was putting up the record numbers every year
for VC,
and that shit continued to get worse, more egregious every fucking year.
Every year,
they would complain, and
yet they still
then
buy
they would go buy it.
Yeah,
and then they would go spend the money. So
absolutely.
It's like,
and
fam,
that's
get
also
off my lawn.
That's also the Call of Duty effect.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Get off my lawn.
I don't understand why certain people don't understand how Battlefield got bigger. It was going to get bigger, but at the rate that it did, it was because Call of Duty's company was not paying attention to what the Call of Duty players were saying.
Yeah.
All they heard was the YouTube noise. They didn't listen to the actual fans.
Right.
Or they couldn't listen to this big hunk of noise and be like, okay, I hear what you're saying for 30 minutes. I can cut it down to the bone. This is what you really mean. All the rest of that was just antics. This is what you mean. Like, they didn't do that. Thus, I got dudes with me who are ridiculous. Ridiculous. I brought them over to Battlefield. They can't go back.
Yeah.
Thus, even with the double war game, the War World games, like, yo, fam, one of them bought Modern Warfare and was like, son, I got it just because it's sitting.
Yeah.
You know?
I quite love Modern Warfare.
It's good, but come on, Medal of Honor, you need to return. Battlefield, you need to go modern.
Modern Warfare held me down and has been holding me down until my preferred video game gets here.
Right.
And I swear to God, if I see some shit about World War anything,
it's over.
I'm going to get on a plane. I'm going to go to wherever the fuck DICE headquarter is, and I'm throwing shit through the window.
Fair.
Like, yo, I gave you fucks your time.
Yeah. And
I gave you more because you are with the World War I shit.
Right.
And
you did it twice.
And now I got a World War II?
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me. I don't want to see no Vietnam shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no fucking Cold War shit.
Yeah.
So, fam, I need lasers.
I don't even want to see Kuwait.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to see desert either.
Desert Storm.
Yeah, I don't want to see none of that. Yeah.
I want to see lasers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, be careful.
Well, no, I heard the 20. What was it? The Battlefield 20 something was
20,
good.
40 something.
They said that was really good.
It was, but be
I never
careful.
played
it. Be careful, fam.
What do you think they going to do? The Call of Duty jetpacks. Jetpacks for you, jetpacks for me.
Be careful, fam. Be careful.
Battlefield Star Wars edition. Yay! Here we go.
Battlefield Battlefront.
Oh my God.
So, all right. So we kind of dipped in a little bit of the highlights. Let's talk about a few more highlights. You know what I mean? Let's talk console features.
Okay.
Because we started, like we said, in the 360. We came into the 2010s with the 360, the Wii U, and the PS3.
Yeah.
The PS3 saw one of the biggest evolutions that it had to do from start to finish in terms of like we didn't have those apps till now we got the apps. And for Netflix, to your point, I didn't name Netflix earlier for them because they were, I think, one of the last ones to get on board.
Yeah,
and it was a
disc.
And it was a disc.
Yeah,
they had to do the same thing that we had to do.
Yeah.
But I think we was the first. I feel like if not, they were there longer. They were there longer than PlayStation for sure. Yeah. Right. So then they did the disc, and I was on the disc, and then sooner or later it just wasn't the disc anymore. But by that time, I had already bought a Roku player.
Yep, didn't matter.
You know what I'm saying? So it didn't matter.
No, but the P3 was still the de facto for entertainment.
Absolutely.
It was a cheap Blu-ray.
Right.
It was the best Blu-ray player you can get.
Right.
The P3 had a dizzying amount of media features.
Even CFast?
Yeah. That was there. You had, I wouldn't be, I'm talking on my ass, but I wouldn't be surprised if it supported Dolby Atmos before it even came out. You know
Whatever
what I mean?
the highest fidelity of audio was back then, it probably
was
supported
all in there.
Yeah.
It was all, and not only did they support it, they had these low-level granular controls for all of it.
Yes.
Like the P3 was fucking balls to the wall.
Yeah.
I really, even to this day, I would argue a motherfucker down that you could pull your PlayStation 3 out the closet, connect it to your surround sound system,
and it would be fantastic.
You had a better experience than what you got with either the Xbox or the P4 today.
Yeah, I definitely would say that with the P4 against the P4.
You talk about watching movies and listening to music.
Yeah.
I think, and that was so for my Xbox. It never mattered.
Right.
Right, because I'm not. I don't know. I'm a casual. I'm here to play Halo and Battlefield and watch Netflix.
Right.
But I feel like if you went for a PlayStation, like most dudes, when you some big dick bigwig somewhere, and you bring a dude in to install your home theater system, that had to be a PlayStation 3.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there was nothing else.
Right.
And when the PlayStation 4 came out, I was looking for a lot of that heritage to made it over.
Right.
And it never did.
It never did, right.
And I was just like, ooh.
And I feel
not that it mattered to me, but I was like, damn, somebody somewhere is going to be like, what the fuck?
That. We spoke about this before.
Yeah.
I think, was it the PS2s that created that market for them?
Yeah. That's why they was putting that shit in fucking Civics along with the fish tank.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Fam, you need this.
Right.
So, interesting. What is the features for... I think the recording features I love.
Yes.
Sony calls it sharing.
Mm-hmm.
We say Xbox record that.
Right.
Cultural changing shit.
You can make, if you were getting into YouTube, I used to tell people all the time, fam, you could do it off your Xbox, you could do it off your PlayStation.
You could.
It takes a little finagling, takes a little patience.
You can get it done.
But you can get it done.
The motherfuckers who did grew way more than we did.
Hey. Right? Huh. Talk about quality. Streaming direct to Twitch or wherever, now Mixer.
That was a big one.
Huge.
That was a big
Even
one.
Even YouTube, huge.
You prefer Mixer over Twitch?
Mixer's dope. I wish Mixer was natively to the PlayStation as well.
Because Microsoft out here buying shit. They legit throwing money around again.
Yeah, Mixer's dope.
So they got Ninja Mixer, and Shroud now?
Mm-hmm. Brought them right over. Told them come home.
I always liked Mixer, but to me it was kind of like, yeah, but there's no one here.
My favorite thing about Mixer was it was 1-to-1.
Yeah.
I don't care about... I love the interactive features of it.
Yeah, the gamification of
and all that stuff.
Liking,
but
talking.
it's not for me. What I like is the 1-to-1.
Yeah, because you can say something and a motherfucker actually read it like a second later.
Right.
Versus like...
Right.
Fam, like that used to break the consistency of the engagement for me on Twitch.
Being able to react with.
Yeah. That shit used to break it from you. Because I'm like looking at the shit and then I'm looking at the chat and then the dude acknowledges it like 2 minutes later. I was like,
which feels like 4 minutes later.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Whatever, man.
Right.
So I just like shut that part off. But yeah, I guess the people who stream that 1-to-1 thing is a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love where we got right now, which is even better now, right? And I think the 360 might have had a piece of this already. From our phones, send it to YouTube.
Yeah.
On our consoles. You know what I mean?
That may have worked on the 360. I don't know. Because YouTube had a low-level version of it that...
Yeah.
It was there, but sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
Right. I feel like there was something like the DLNA
thing,
whatever.
Yeah.
But like I love that. I love being able to walk into my house. I was watching something on YouTube. I hit the button, throw it to my Xbox or PlayStation, and then boom, I could continue watching.
I made some noise about that.
It's awesome.
And Microsoft added it after because I don't think the Xbox One launched with it. But since it's there.
Okay.
So if you...
Oh, big disappointment. Sorry. The Xbox removed the picture-in-picture.
Yeah, that was a... I actually used that.
I used it too.
But this, you know, back to that conversation, motherfuckers making noise. Mm-hmm. And the people making noise is like, fam, but this ain't for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let it rock.
Right.
Even a Kinect, son, I use a Kinect.
I use the Kinect too.
And
I like Dance Central. And I can never get another Dance Central game.
To this day, I'm upset that Microsoft never figured out how to do it what Sony did, use the controller as a trigger. Mm-hmm. But to tell it to turn on and off the Xbox is a big deal for me because it also turns on the TV.
Right.
The infrared from the Kinect, and it also turns on my tuner.
Right.
So I don't have to grab 3 different remotes.
Right. Oh, what you mean? To record your gameplay from the controller?
No, just to turn on the... No, because Sony takes the voice commands from the DualShock, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, because they didn't have the camera.
I feel like... No, you know what it was? It wasn't from the controller because you did it at my house. It's from the camera.
Oh, okay. I thought they had it... Oh, okay.
The speaker, there's a speaker there, but I don't think you could talk to it. But even that was very minimal. Like if I'm in a party, I can't use it.
Yeah,
I can't use that feature.
I really do miss the picture-in-picture. That shit was dope.
Yeah,
the picture-in-picture was dope.
Picture was dope. What was another thing?
I think these consoles are well featured.
I mean,
the UIs
across both
are fine.
Yeah,
I'm very happy that
it just got convoluted later.
Yeah, I'm happy that they never slowed down. That was my big complaint with
my PlayStation
days.
Has slowed down a bit. But
has your Xbox slowed down?
In a way, yes. But that's more so because it's changing. It's always changing.
Right. So the way you access things is different.
It's different. The PlayStation
but
1,
even
I might get
my
hung.
PlayStation, I turn it on. The UI doesn't like lag.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm downloading something when I first turn it on.
But you know what? Let me take that back because I'm a high usage PlayStation person. Like I have a 2 terabyte on my PlayStation that's followed by a 4 terabyte outside. Yeah. So it's part of reading. But the one place I felt like before I even got that nuts with it was, and this is a huge problem. I remember Greg, who's former IGN dude, Kind of Funny Games Greg, was complaining like, yo, why is the friends list like so goddamn slow? It's almost like it's pinging by the millisecond to see who's on and off. No.
I noticed that the PlayStation app, because that's how I used to talk to you in Zombie, is painfully fucking slow.
Yeah.
But
I also don't like that it's separated to like 3 or 4 apps.
But the Microsoft app is also slow. Not painfully slow,
right?
But it's also slow.
What I like about the Microsoft app is that it's everything in one.
Yeah. But that they need to speed that fucking shit up.
And Microsoft will always have my blessing, me being a PlayStation dude, that they had that shit running from the previous console.
Yeah, it's been there for a while.
So they're fine in my books.
I like the UIs are always good to me.
UIs were fine.
The P3 UI
I never had an issue with it.
Was less painful than the Xbox 360 UI. The Xbox 360 UI was just like fuck. Like I avoided doing shit.
But at least it changed. Which
no, they kept addressing it.
Yeah.
They never stopped. Even the last version of it was like decent.
Was that the Metro?
I don't remember what they called it.
Yeah,
but I don't remember what they called, but it was still like it's still slow as fuck.
Yeah,
it feels like I turned on a 10-year-old laptop and I'm waiting for Internet Explorer to load up. You know what I mean? Like that was still there. I mean, the games would run fine.
Right.
But Jesus Christ, fix the UI. How the fuck you get the more labor intensive part?
Yeah.
To run fine, but the UI is just fucked.
Another highlight / negative is both the communities inside the console. So like you can create communities in both, and then you also have a social media aspect to both. I feel like
I personally never dug into those features.
The Xbox community and what I'm gonna call like the social wall, is pretty dope. It's pretty accurate. You know, when everybody's saying Xbox record that that shit that comes in the timeline. Share it, liking it, resharing it, resharing to your timeline or whatever. Like I thought that was amazing.
It's its own social network.
The PlayStations came later, and it's never been as accurate. The PlayStation had a very light form of it, but they didn't have that. And even then, it was kind of weird because it was like, okay, if I share something to YouTube, you would see it on the timeline, and when you interact with it, you could do very limited stuff with it. And then that timeline never really panned out. Like it was stale. Not stale, like it didn't update or refresh as quick as it should have.
Right.
I felt like, I'm not gonna lie to you. At times when I was on the I have lesser friends on the Xbox, right? I could be on the Xbox and I can just go in that timeline, and it was like being on Twitter. Twitter just overflowing.
Yeah.
It really felt like that. So, but the fact that they both have it, dope. The looking for game on the Xbox.
The looking
dope.
for game was a game-changing feature.
Yeah.
Not one that I used often.
And I hope the PS5 get that looking for game.
But that looking for game shit is so fucking dope.
Yeah.
I could not. And I think when I realized how dope it was, I was waiting for you to come on we was going to play Overwatch.
Yeah.
I think you pulled out. And I was like, damn, Overwatch is not one of those games where you want to go solo in there.
Right, of course not.
I was like, let me
do it, but you don't want
you
to.
do it, but you ain't gonna get the most. I was like, let me go see what this looking for game shit is, and I was able to be like, yeah, I'm a this, I'm a DPS
Player.
Go fuck yourself.
Right.
I ain't got no band-aids for no healing nobody.
Right.
I ain't got no mic.
Right.
Don't ask me to put on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I found a group.
Right.
And the way the shit worked was wow, because like I said. It said, all right, we might have a group for you. We'll ping you when it's ready to start. Then the dude started. I got the invite. And then it created the party.
Yep.
Ain't nobody in that motherfucker had mics.
Right.
And we was balling for like 3 hours.
Absolutely.
I was like, holy shit, this is game changing.
Yeah.
And that works for every single game.
Right.
Like, wow, what a dope feature.
Right.
A dope feature.
And then with that said, shout out to Overwatch for having their own LFG inside their game.
Yeah, they kind of have their own one too.
So, I think that's dope. The PlayStation community feature, which we run one as well. I think that's pretty dope. It's like almost like I don't want to say Reddit, but like it feels like a Reddit depending on which group it is. Very good. You can brand it and all this other stuff.
That's dope.
You can start a party in there, and people could jump in and out that party.
Sounds like fucking SharePoint.
Pretty much.
That's dope.
If they finally do it, I think they did do it. I lost track of this. If the PlayStation parties can go to 16, then in the community groups,
it goes to more. Obviously,
it would go way better. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
So I definitely love that. The other thing is for gaming of the decade, I'm not a fan of mobile, but mobile seen dopeness because of how phones were becoming. The technology war of phones made mobile gaming step its game up and get a proper following and get a proper usage. And
PUBG ran better on the phone than it did on the Xbox. Straight up.
I'm not gonna, son. I told
I'm not
you
even throwing shots. Fuck that
son,
game.
I told you, son. I played it on the PlayStation, and it was like 10 to 15% more stable.
Yeah,
which means it was still broken.
That's annoying. That's fucking annoying.
Still the only one that gets my hands sweaty, which is good. But like at the same time,
you know what it is? I don't want to get into it, man.
The other part of I appreciate about this generation, which is also opposite of what I just said, games getting fixed because of how we code the games now. But what I love is the evolution of games.
It's about what side of the fence does it end up on. But yeah.
So taking the most positive of this, right? Let's look at Overwatch.
Yeah.
Son.
Overwatch, I don't say was broken, but
no. That's what I said.
Slip.
Let's take the most positive of it.
Yeah.
Overwatch came out on fire. Overwatch came out working. It only got better because of the way we can do these updates.
Yeah.
And mind you, nobody paid for nothing.
Yeah. I keep telling. Remember Mac and I was like, we're not paying no $60 for that guy. I was like, fam, that's the last $60 you're gonna have to spend.
Even if you paid the $30, which they didn't want to pay the $30 for that.
And
all of a sudden they like it when they got on PC.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Overwatch is balls to the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask the Overwatch community, Blizzard's fucking up. They can't balance the game.
But that's the competitive community.
Nah, it's the community period. So there's a point that Blizzard cannot balance that game because there's too many fucking characters.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have.
My thing is a great problem to have.
Yeah.
They're still at it.
Yeah.
Son, I haven't played Overwatch. Shit, my bad. I haven't played Overwatch in, what are we talking, a year?
It's been that long?
Could it have been that long?
Has it? Because even in
last time I played, we was up to like fucking 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
What was
Actually, 6 in the morning. I don't know. It was one of those days where I had like time to breathe.
That was. I'm gonna say it was over a year ago.
Yeah.
And even to this day, I see Overwatch videos on my timeline on YouTube, and I still watch them.
Right.
Just it's so fascinating how you know, me as a Farah player, I'm tight because Farah took an L.
Wasn't you playing? You played in the last 6 months.
Okay, I don't remember.
Whatever, because Mac and them ain't been on it that long.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah. Yes, I did, because ever since I got my graphics card, I get my ass handed to me on Overwatch because I'm playing with a controller.
PC, yeah.
These motherfuckers ain't playing, and I'm performing.
Right.
Like I'm getting 2 or 3 goals.
Right.
But when I tell you my fingers hurt,
yeah,
fam, like I'm
making you work.
I'm working.
Yeah, you working.
I'm like fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, man, look, but yeah, Overwatch is a great example of that. What else is there? Fortnite keeps rumbling. Mm-hmm. They keep changing. They keeping the content fresh. They keeping the updates there. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything else is just some fuck shit. I mean, I don't have nothing else to say about that.
I mean,
motherfuckers just trying to fix the games.
Trying to fix games. I mean, Call of Duty, as much as I give them shit, they've done a great job of managing games 2 years, 3 years out.
Yeah.
Although some of the games they shouldn't have released the way that they did, like the jetpack era of Call of Duty. But then you have games like Street Fighter over time, right?
Not with them characters on that disc.
Forza over time.
No, last Forza was buggy as fuck.
I'm talking about besides that, the support.
Horizon
and things
was
that they were able to change.
Good.
Horizon,
yeah.
Right. There's a few other games that I'm escaping my mind right now, but that's the problem. Well, we mentioned No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
the evolution of that, because again, it didn't release broken.
What's the dude? Sinclair, the ninja shit.
Oh, Warframe.
Warframe
it's clean,
still
son.
Continues
to evolve. Never had a problem in terms of the other games that we're shooting at.
But this is the fuck shit, right? We're so used to the negative bullshit.
Right.
You completely don't see motherfuckers is getting it right.
Right.
And we just don't even notice
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah. You're kind of like, what? You want credit for being a fucking dad?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're a dad.
You're supposed to take your kids to the park, you fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Socks for you for Father's Day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Rainbow Six is banging. Breaks my heart I couldn't get into it.
I know that right there.
I'm a day one Rainbow Six fan.
That right there hurt me for you.
Yeah.
Like, damn, son, can you just let go of that AR thing?
We played it.
Let it go, fam.
One time we played it after so long ago, and I got on and killed 3 motherfuckers in the front door.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. I was like, nah. But I got an SMG though. I'm getting off this game. I got an SMG. They got assault rifles. I think
we missed one disappointment for you.
What's that?
Scopes and Payday.
Fuck that game, son.
Payday was awesome.
That game broke my heart. I wanted to like that game so much.
So consoles about a decade. We saw, for PC, we saw new tech come through, right?
Yeah.
We saw new graphics cards and all this stuff come through. And mainly for us, it was more so about producing content as opposed to playing games.
Yeah, we want those CUDA cores.
I mentioned mobile a little earlier. That was dope. Our PlayStations and Xboxes definitely saw end of cycle bumps, but tweaks. And then this generation, when we did our 720 video and our PS4 video, we name dropped a bunch of things and they came hitting with all that stuff.
Yeah.
We named features that there's no leaks. We just named stuff and it what we wanted and it happened.
Straight a wish list.
Yeah, and a lot of it happened.
Yep.
There's a Pro, there's a 1X. Okay, you could I feel some kind of way about that. I know you don't. And then
I don't because people's bitching.
Right. We had the cloud stuff go. On Live died.
Yeah.
But PlayStation now probably is way better than what it was and when it first started.
Have you went back recently to look at it?
Yeah, I did.
Is it better?
It's smoother now.
Okay.
But just not my It's not my thing. You got the xCloud thing that's coming on. One failure, I don't care what nobody says, is the power of the cloud for Titanfall.
Yeah.
And Crackdown 3, which
that game just fell on its face.
Fam.
Yeah.
Then we had all those Android-based consoles, the Ouya and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, the NVIDIA Shield is probably the best of that whole thing. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it on that. Okay. My disappointment was probably, of the console-wise, it's probably the Wii U. Such a dope concept that got killed.
Well, it should have. The Switch was coming.
Well, they knew that we didn't. The problem is they destroyed their own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it forced so many things upon us that didn't need to be forced.
Sure.
And therefore, it took an unnecessary L, in my opinion. Because what it did have was the games. And I know people like say, well, the Switch got me. Son, listen, a lot of the Switch games that people were touting, they were on the Wii U. Yeah. Up until a certain point.
Zelda was the biggest fucking offender.
Son.
And Zelda is the pinnacle.
Yes.
I'm of the opinion that Nintendo knows how to swindle the best.
I agree.
Because if Sony and Microsoft were doing any of what Nintendo was doing, they'd be nailed to the wall. Mm-hmm. Like, can you imagine Sony coming out with The Last of Us 3 that looks like Payday? No. You lose your fucking mind.
Yeah.
But Nintendo gets to do it time and time again, which means you don't have a reason to sell me new hardware, fam. Right. These games ain't pushing no limits.
Right.
You might as well not even sell Nintendo and sell me a Nintendo Game Pass on my phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll pay you $100 a year to play Nintendo games on my phone.
Right.
That's where we at with Nintendo in terms of that scope.
Yeah.
But they still drop new hardware. They dropped 2 of them.
Yeah.
So now you got to go on Craigslist and pay $3 million per.
Right. And the Switch is killing.
And here they come again. So they know that formula. This is 2 generations in a row they've done this bullshit.
3,
yeah, because the Wii U was still out selling shit.
Right. Not the Wii, sorry. Not the Wii U. The Wii was still selling crazy while we in HD. It's like,
yeah.
What are y'all using? HDMI cards? No. Get this red, white, and yellow. Get in here and get this red, white, and yellow.
We out here like, look at the realism on my Toshinden battle arena face scan model. 18,000 polygons, and the Nintendo's like 640.
Right.
Because we don't think 720 sounds good. People are like, what?
All right. So we spoke lightly about certain games and stuff, right? Because we're in the 2010s, basically covers 2 generations of games, right?
Yep.
So I know you see on the list I got them by year, but that's not how the conversation is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I just did it for a refresher, right? Mm-hmm. What were your most enjoyable games, or games that just come to mind that you played in the last 10 years? Overwatch.
Never let me down.
Never let you down. No. What about the Forzas?
Not to the effect. Forza.
I understand Forza 3 probably hold.
I take Forza for granted.
Okay.
Because I expect it to be there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
But if you remove that, you would miss it.
If I remove it, I would miss it, yes.
So Forza's got to be there.
So, I mean, yeah, it's there by default. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's like somebody walking up to you like, who do you love the most? And you're just like, oh, Jay-Z. You're like, Jay-Z, you married, motherfucker. You don't love your wife? you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, Overwatch is there. I don't know. I'm having a hard time coming up with something other than Overwatch.
Really?
Because there's been other enjoyable shit. There's been the Battlefield.
Because we're talking 2010 and up, fam. Bad
Modern
Company
Warfare
2 is there.
Modern Warfare, I spent a lot of time
But Modern Warfare is, what, the recent one?
No.
That's 2007, I think.
Oh, is it?
That's COD 4, remember?
I don't know what else is in the list there.
That probably Modern Warfare 3, I think. It would be Black Ops. No, Black Ops was...
No, I don't like Black Ops. I never liked Black Ops.
You would have Battlefield 3.
Battlefield 3.
Up, right?
Okay, so Battlefield 3.
Mm-hmm. Medal of Honor 2010
Battlefield
and up.
3 was wildly enjoyable.
Yes.
Battlefield 4 was, to me, better but broken.
Right.
And that was where the frustration is, because I wanted to love Battlefield. I did love Battlefield 4 more than 3, but it was broken. It took a long time to be stable.
Right.
So yeah, Battlefield 4, hours on top of hours. I did enjoy that Final Fantasy. What was the last one?
Oh, XV?
Yeah.
15 was that? I think
it's 15. I really enjoyed that. I probably put like, I don't know, 13 hours, 15 hours into it.
So if you say that, then you can say...
Xeno Saga. I really enjoyed Xeno Saga. Yeah. Like, there was nights I wasn't sleeping because I was playing that shit on the couch. Not on the TV, on the Switch.
Switch, yeah.
Like, Xeno Saga was fucking amazing.
What about Last of Us?
Last of Us, I didn't get into because I couldn't get past the part with the clickers.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have patience for this shit. You know what I mean? Like, all my patience for that shit went out the door. And I was like, fam.
What about Need for Speed? The reboot?
It was all right.
What about Shift?
Well, Shift was in that 2010s? No. Shift was older.
Shift 2.
Shift 2? I don't remember Shift 2. All I remember about it was the sound.
What about Halo 4?
Well,
hey, I can't see Halo 5 being on that list for you.
No. The Halos weren't there for a long time because I transitioned into Battlefield. Like, if shit wasn't blowing up, like if the battleground wasn't dynamic, it was boring to me.
Right.
Which is why I was heavy Battlefield, not Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, right.
It had nothing to do with Call of Duty or Halo.
Change.
You know, there's no terrain change.
Right.
Halo is just a different game. It's an arena shooter, which means that strategy that you play that game with, I no longer cared about.
Yeah.
Which means we need to hold down a certain part of the map, which means we need to secure a certain subset of weapons, and we need to alter the way we play based on those weapons.
Fine. Yeah.
That's how you play Halo. I don't care about that shit anymore.
Right.
I'm just here to shoot everything moving.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
So I would start off in Halo with the assault rifle, and I would run past rocket launchers and not pick it up.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Fuck all that. I'm shooting. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how you play Halo, and it wasn't enjoyable.
Right.
And I knew that, so I kind of was like backing off. So my last decade's been boring as fuck. It's been Battlefields, it's been Halos, it's been Battlefields, Forzas, and some random ass RPG here and there.
Right.
I got the gang beast shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Gang beast. Yeah.
I wish I didn't get the control. I didn't play it enough to like
get the controls.
The controllers down, but that shit was fucking fun.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. That's all I got.
So you're not gonna put Payday on that list?
Nah, Payday doesn't get on that list, dog. Payday does not get on that list. I can't get a red dot. You can't get no mention. Fuck boys.
Oh man, I got quite a few. I could, cause I'm in it.
Yeah,
you know, I'm
you
like
play a lot of the weird shit.
Yeah, I'm in it. I can name.
I know that Tetris is up there for you.
Has to be. There's no way. Matter of fact, which one you talking about? All of them except the Ubisoft one.
Well, not the one you kept in my fucking ear, the Puyo bullshit.
Son, that's
the new one.
One of the best ones. Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
Both
that's the
VR
PUBG shit, right?
Yeah, no, that's Tetris 99.
Yeah,
that's on the Switch. Son, I love that, son.
Did you buy the Switch just for that?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I had the Switch chilling.
What do you call it? Battle Royale.
It's a Battle Royale style. I had the Switch chilling. I didn't take it out the box until Tetris 99 got announced.
Is it really only available on the Switch?
Yeah.
How did they even...
Son,
I guess Nintendo and Tetris go way back.
They go way back. They go too far. I still remember the day Final Fantasy was announced on PlayStation. I was like,
how?
What?
How did
Nintendo? You let that go?
Yeah.
Like I still remember that moment.
Yeah. That was a shocker.
So I would say Tetris Effect, Tetris 99, Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yeah.
Out the gate.
Okay.
Forza Horizon for sure.
Oh, I'm always shocked at how much you like Horizon.
My God, I love Horizon B. Oh my God, I love the Horizon series. I'm mad that I didn't get into the first Horizon like I could have, like I should have.
The first Horizon was kind of muted though.
Yeah, I think. But it would have been nice to be able to ride out through all iterations of it to see how it evolved. I mean, I went back and played it, so I saw what was there that made it over. And I was like, oh, okay.
The first Horizon feels so much like Sega GT and open world.
Right, but I like Sega. You know, I like Sega GT.
Yeah.
You know what?
The God of War is heavy up there for you.
You know that, but
that game was very well received.
But I want to add the regular Forza in there too. I want to say,
well, yeah,
not necessarily Forza 4, but like even though I get Forza 5,
motorsport.
Shit, yeah, motorsport, everything up. Yeah. Like I got to put it in there. Like
so that is what brought you in the fold with Forza is what I was explaining about Halo. Mm-hmm. You were in the fold with Forza because you was like, let me explore.
Let me do this sim shit. Yeah, how to really drive.
How to really play this game.
Actually, how to race.
Rather. Right. And then once you go down that road, then oh shit.
Right.
There's a whole separate world there. That motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, and it's just more enjoyable for me to do that as opposed to Gran Turismo. And I have GT Sport, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not shooting on the game. Actually, GT Sport is probably more enjoyable to me than any Gran Turismo game ever put out, besides the first one. And that's just what it is for me.
It's a beautiful fucking game.
Drive Club goes up there for me.
Yeah, you like Drive Club, yeah.
Need for Speed Reboot, but more importantly, the game that brought me back to driving games, Need for Speed Most Wanted. I believe that's the 2012 title. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be playing any driving games right now. I wouldn't. It brought me back. I killed driving games off for me probably after Need for Speed Underground 2.
That's when the cops wasn't no pussies.
Skullgirls. That was the last of my fighting hand was able to see.
Okay.
My fighting hand's jacked up, fam. Like, it's crazy because there's so many good fighters out there right now, and I can't touch them. Anything Batman Arkham related.
Those are dope.
You know what I mean? Like, my God.
Those are dope.
Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor.
Man, you had a good decade.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, the Doom game. Wolfenstein Return.
I played the Wolfenstein. Those were good.
And then Doom, Wolfenstein, and then Bethesda got another one.
Sure, shit ain't Fallout.
Nah, hell no, it's not Fallout. Dishonored. Oh my God, I love that Dishonored game. In fact, I haven't finished the.
That's the one where you could change into like a rat or something.
Yeah, all that. Okay. So many ways to play. Okay. The game gets such critically praised for me, and I never finished the game. Because you get to a point in every video game where you feel like you're a god, like you're untouchable. Yeah. It all comes down to your skill and reaction. Yeah. So when I figured out probably like 30, 40% of the game, I didn't even have all the powers. So what I was doing with the powers that I had, I spent hours just replaying missions, doing it different. Oh. I haven't had that feeling since I was a kid.
I got one more you just mentioned. Metal Gear.
You know what? I had to put it on my list. I enjoyed it. And I'm not a Metal Gear player. I'm a Metal Gear fan. I'm not a Metal Gear player.
Same. No idea what's going on in the storyline.
Yeah.
But I put 30 hours into that game.
Son, I put a little bit more than that.
Deleted the save and then started again. If you go on the PC right now, you'll see.
I think I did a little more than that because I did the online, which is what I bought it for.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yo, Metal Gear 4 had an online. I looked it up. Son, this is dope. I'm about to go get it. Oh, it's going to end in a week from now.
That's hilarious.
I just found out about it. What are you doing?
That's hilarious.
Vanquish was technically 2000. Was Vanquish 2009? I forget when Vanquish was.
Is that bullshit you kept trying to make me play? What was that?
That's Binary Domain.
Yes, that's Binary fucking Domain.
So
I was watching some Watch Mojo video the other day.
You were respected, son.
And it was like number 2, Binary. I was just like, oh.
So you will respect. Oh, it came out in 2010. So that goes on the list. So Binary Domain, Vanquish. This game, Mark Echo's Get Up. Puppeteer. Everything Little Big Planet.
Your Last of Us games.
Of course.
And your Drake.
Last of Us dropped on my birthday.
Yeah.
Snow Way. One of my best birthdays ever. It's a sour note looking, well, not really a sour note. It's one of my best birthdays ever. Had a surprise bowling party.
Can you bowl?
Yeah, I do all right. Surprise bowling party. And that game came out on my birthday. Awesome.
I wasn't going bowling. It's like, fam, I got this coronavirus thing happening here. I need to stay home.
So Mark Echo Get Up.
I can in fact I can tell you the truth now because my wife will never listen to this podcast.
Right.
We were supposed to go on a date. This was Battlefield. I think it was Battlefield 4. I was like, I'm not feeling well. It's his day. She'll tell you, we were supposed to go out. First date almost didn't happen because he didn't feel well, and we had to reschedule. I was like, yeah, I wasn't feeling well. So yeah,
I think you should get some roses, just in case she ever hears this.
She got a ring.
So of course, let's throw in Battlefields in there, right?
Battlefields.
Throw everyone, including Hardline. I don't know why people like to shit on Hardline.
Why is Drake not closer though?
Oh, it's in my mind. I'm trying to get all the stuff deeper. Pac-Man DX Championship Edition.
I didn't play that one. I think I watched you play it.
Yeah. I feel like I do have to mention, even though I'm a live fan, NBA 2K, I think it's either 10. I think it's 2K10. Amazing game. Amazing. There's some other little stuff in there I played.
You enjoyed the Halo 5.
I enjoyed both Halos. The 4 and the 5. I would say I probably enjoyed 5 a little more. I enjoyed the story of
Spider-Man.
4 better. Spider-Man, definitely. So I was going to get back to that.
I
God of War.
Put a lot of time in Spider-Man.
You should also be saying Spider-Man.
Yeah.
God of War. Every God of War that came out between 2010 and 9, right? 2010 and 2019. Every Uncharted game, no doubt. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh yeah. How far did you get in that?
I got pretty far, and then my hard drive died,
Okay.
and then I just never restarted it again. And then, of course, Uncharted series. Like, there's no way that I don't name that. Like, it's like watching a movie for me.
I felt like the latter part of that game fell apart for me. I got to the part where we out in Italy, and then the girl joined you on the boat. It got weird.
I think that's by design, though.
I don't know where the fuck the story was going. I felt like the graphics took a hit somehow, some sort of way.
You should see it on HDR.
Okay.
It never drops.
Okay. But some environments just looked like surreal.
Yeah.
And then others just like video game.
Right. And I'm okay with that.
I feel like the first 2 was just straight up a movie all the way through.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I was just bugging out. I don't know.
I probably could draw that line there because I named those that I had to dig for a little bit. I'm sure there's another game in there somewhere that I'll probably forget.
Overwatch is in there for you.
For sure. But I agree with that. That's why I didn't say it, but definitely Overwatch.
Yeah.
I mean, Overwatch is, for this gen, is my game of the generation in terms of the P4 Xbox One era.
You got no argument for me.
I will say this: the Pokemon. I finally returned to Pokemon after Red and Blue.
Pokemon on the phone. The Pokemon Go shit.
Pokemon Go shit.
Put a lot of time into that.
So that counts for you. I never touched it.
Yeah, I put a lot of time into that.
But this Pokemon.
I remember I screenshotted a Pikachu. Motherfuckers was like, how you get a Pikachu? It was like the first week of the game. I was like, yo, get off my nuts. Like, you know what I mean? Would you play Pokemon? You can't get a Pikachu? You fucking noob.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. I got the Shield version. I love it. I haven't touched it in a couple months, but I love it. It broke a lot for me. So I dropped like 40-something hours in that game in a weekend.
Nice.
And this is someone who couldn't focus on a game for more than 30 minutes, and it had to be Tetris. So that definitely has to go on the list for me.
Okay. It was a good decade, son.
And there's a lot of little stuff in it that I can name, but like, I had a very good decade of gaming.
This is my point.
Yeah.
The fuck shit, the noise from the fuck shit will have you thinking that the entire shit's ruined.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
right.
that's not the case. Like, we could probably go another 5 hours talking about all the fucked up shit.
Yeah. We definitely could.
But we can't even remember the fucking... You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I forgot Hawks.
I don't know what that is.
Tom Clancy's basically Ace Combat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did say you was playing that a little bit.
Yeah. Red Dead Redemption don't belong to me. Heavy Rain. There's no way I don't mention Heavy Rain.
What happened to that Android game?
Detroit Become Human?
Yeah.
It's good.
Is it out?
It's out. I have it.
You have it?
I have it.
You like it?
Yeah. I can't put it on the list because I've not finished it and because of the headspace.
Okay.
I have a feeling that I'm going to be able to touch it, and then if we just ever come up and be like, yo, between
Is it
10
worth
and
me
19.
playing? Do I get to control and shoot shit? No, I'm not
Not
touching
really.
it. No, I'm
You're
not
not gonna touch it. You're not. Not really. You won't be able to do it like that.
Okay.
Like if I was to just go through and just start like looking, like I didn't name Grand Theft Auto. I don't feel no way about Mario Kart. Like it works. Okay. It works, man. Like
Okay.
you know what I mean? Oh, LA Noir. Have to say that. I gotta say that because I platinum it, and I don't platinum games.
LA Noir I survived the generation because it went from 360 and then it came around again on the 1 and the P4, right? Mm-hmm. Same ass game though, right?
Yeah, same game.
Okay.
I mean, a couple people missed that.
Okay.
Hold on, let me just scroll through this real quick. I'm just trying to eyeball a lot of things. Not on this thing I'm looking at, but the Return of Tomb Raider. Was so happy for that. The last 2 Tomb Raiders, they started getting
Them
into
shits
that.
are showpieces for PC gaming.
Yes, the last 2 Tomb Raiders started getting too much into the
It feels like Uncharted.
not the Uncharted part, but like the RPG part of it. Like I'm tired of.
Oh yeah,
I'm tired of that. Fam.
That was remember that was my complaint. Like, man, fuck this skill tree in Tomb Raider. What are you talking about?
Yeah, son, I was so tired of that.
This bear fucking me up because I didn't get some shit on the skill tree. Like.
So yeah, I'm gonna clip it there because
okay,
I could keep finding little stuff like that, and especially there's a lot of little games that I can pull out. So
Ori and the Blind Forest.
That, you know what I mean, the other game, the 2 with the Brotherhood, Curse of the Brotherhood,
Max.
Max Curse of the Brotherhood, Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight.
I've seen Hollow Knight. It looks dope.
Son, oh my god, son, so good.
Okay,
so good.
So what's next?
P5.
Okay.
Maybe the next Switch. P4.
Switch Pro.
I mean, P5 and then the Series X.
Okay.
You know, what do you think? What do you think here?
Nah, I mean, I feel like we know what's coming.
Do you think it's just gonna be everything we were already doing, just better?
Yeah. There. I don't think there's no room for innovation right now.
And that's fine.
It's okay.
We need performance.
Yeah.
We need performance and stability.
Yeah, there's no room for wild innovation right now.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
I see Sony's doing Rumble thumbsticks. Did I see that right?
I hope that was right because I saw it too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That is needed.
Something like that I would never argue because Rumble triggers, motherfuckers was like.
So I guess we can say that's a highlight too. Rumble triggers was the shit.
That shit changed gaming for me.
Changed driving for me.
Like, so much so that like if I play games on the P4, it feels like something's missing.
Right, and I would agree. When I play Gran Turismo and I'm losing traction, I have to rely how we used to rely.
Yeah. When
I'm playing Forza and I lose traction, I feel it in the controllers like I would feel it in a car.
Yep.
And that's dope.
And I don't, something like that, Microsoft ain't said nothing yet. I ain't think they got nothing.
Right. Well.
And that's going to be such a big, like, immersion for Sony.
Right.
It's going to be hard to ignore that, dog.
What just got confirmed for the Series X is that you can restart your console and resume your game.
Oh, it's solid state. I mean, we was at brunch talking about VM shit.
Yeah.
This is VM shit.
Yeah.
And this is how Microsoft, it all runs in its own container. So all you're doing is suspending it.
Absolutely.
There's no fucking reason it could. But this is, remember we spoke about there are things that we do in a PC world?
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason that Microsoft shouldn't be doing on the Xbox.
Son,
now you're starting to see some of that shit.
I just touched my PlayStation to play Battlefield 4 the first time in I don't know how long. Because my Battlefield 4 disc is a PS3 disc. And somebody was like, yo, let's play Battlefield 4. And I was like, all right. And I went to the game on my to the app and it wouldn't launch. So yo, put the disc in. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Fuck around, it might have already been the only disc that ever went in there. I still never put a disc in my Xbox.
Remember, I have Killzone, which is disc.
Okay.
But I haven't played Killzone in a long time. But my Puyo Puyo Tetris before the law broke, before the agreement broke, is from Japan.
Okay.
So I had to import that game in.
So it's region locked?
Right.
Yeah, there's no
it's
room.
Unlocked.
Unlocked, okay.
The game couldn't happen here because Ubisoft had the license. Once that broke, then Sega could sell their version here.
I mean, I don't. There's not much I see. Just little improvements like
SSD.
VRAM. You got like SSD and like
bigger bus.
To me, one of the things I didn't see from Microsoft or Sony, and I'm super disappointed, is I didn't see the ability to attach graphics cards.
Yeah.
So you can go out today and get a laptop, and your laptop's your laptop. But then you buy a graphics card enclosure and you connect it to Firewire, or whatever the fuck it is.
I forget what
Thunderbolt. It's Thunderbolt, yeah. And then you got your 2080 at home.
Right.
So when you're really serious, you connect to that. There's no reason we can't get this on a console.
Right.
In fact, this would stop this mid-console bullshit.
I agree.
Like, fam, if you want balls to the wall, you buy the little $200 thing that comes with a better graphics card, and you in the future, there'll be supported versions of a graphics card. So when Nvidia comes out with a 3080,
right,
you got to get the reference version because that's the only one they're going to support with drivers. But I don't see why we can't do this.
And as much as I love Nvidia, I don't want them getting any love on console.
On consoles.
So let's lock it to AMD. And this is in foreign territory. I tell everybody all the time, my Sega Saturn ran better games, fighting games, because of the cart.
Yeah.
Because of the cart that you could do to the back of the console.
Yeah. It's that should be a disappointment, but I mean, we haven't seen the consoles yet, so we can't. But they needed to. I feel like the PC gaming market would shrink if they did shit like that. Not in a nefarious way, but like, everybody wants more performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The console is the console because everybody ain't got to know how to open this and put in that and reboot this. And like, no, I just want to turn it on and it works.
Right.
But if you feel like you hit a ceiling, or you just want, maybe I want to run it at 120 frames a second, then you should be able to buy something.
I agree.
That snaps in there, and now you got the pro consumer version of it. I shouldn't have to buy another $500 to buy a whole new shit.
Right.
Like, we're past that.
Yeah, I'm tired of that.
Like, that's just wasteful at this point. Yeah. So, no, that's all I got for what's next, really.
Yeah. I mean, me too. Other than that, I can pick in, like, the Xbox One today can do 2 to 3 hard drives external. And the PlayStation only does 1. And that's not a big deal, but it's like...
That shit don't even matter to me.
Right, because you're only playing 2-ass games anyway.
2-ass games, and if I ever... On my PlayStation, my PlayStation is full because of you.
Right.
I'll be deleting shit. I'll be like, man, I ain't never touch it. Delete.
And I send it right back. Ramona will be like, yo... Yes, and I took that shit off my hard drive the other day to install that. And I'll go and look. I'm like, okay, this is 28 gigs. And this is 30 gigs. I'm going to send this game over there.
My shit stay with no space. I'll be like, what the fuck, son? That shit's funny.
But yeah, I think I had a good 10
decade, man.
I had a good decade, man, for sure.
And you're a real gamer, so as long as you're happy.
And to think, I almost retired. Well, I soft retired in 2006. 2006, 2007. I think I had soft retired. So I'm glad I didn't.
Look at all that money you would have saved.
Oh, fuck that. I probably would have did some other stupid shit with it.
We had a private jet right now.
Or I'll be riding around here in Godzilla.
Yep, exactly. That's a good one.
But I'm good. I'm good there. You got anything else?
Nah, that's it for me.
All right, well, I'm going to sign it off. Thank y'all for joining us on the podcast today. And again, look out for our podcast on The Lifestyles Defined. That's the Lifestyle Podcast, tech, life, and entertainment. And, leave some feedback wherever you can. If you're watching this on YouTube, definitely leave some feedback. Talk to us. Let us know what you're thinking. You heard what we said at the top of the show. This is a real conversation. Miss you guys. Miss you gals as well. Miss my G's. Let's just put it like that. And see you in the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.